The Jacob Media Sports Network, in partnership with 97.3 ESPN, brings you the Mays and Eytan Show.
Middays with Harry Mays and Eytan Shander.
Now, it's the Midday Show with Harry Mays and Eytan Shander on 97.3 ESPN Radio.
You know, we are live at the beautiful, brand new, week-old sportsbook up at Parks Casino, Ben Salem in the Northeast. We like the Northeast. We hang out a lot in the Northeast. Thursday and Friday, you can catch the Mays and Eytan Show from Dunphy Ford Thursday to now this beautiful, magnificent sportsbook. The big TVs are up. We're watching sports. We're watching recaps of sports. We're watching previews of sports. The lines are scrolling like news and stock tickers in Times Square. The comfortable seats are starting to fill up as we get closer and closer to lunchtime here. This is an amazing opportunity for you in the area and beyond to come check this place out. And before we get into business, do what you and I do best, get to business and talk sports. Let us remind everybody out there that the easiest way to win money is now courtesy of Parks Casino. Just go to parkscasino.com/MES, as in Mays Eytan Show, MES, and then use our promo code WINNER. You'll get $250. Promo code WINNER. Now, we have a situation here because I guarantee
Where's Wolf Blitzer?
Well,
we have a situation.
Is that guy still around?
Yes, he is.
The Situation Room?
The Situation Room, man.
He and Bill O'Reilly are like vying for the longest run shows on the.
Well, Bill O'Reilly's got his own website now.
Oh,
he
does
it on the web.
How
now.
long has he been off?
A couple years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
okay.
BillO'Reilly.com.
2 years.
Yeah.
Oh, wow, I didn't realize that.
Come on, man. Get with the program. And first you said it's getting to lunchtime. It is lunchtime.
Well, now, some people eat late. We don't know. It could be people eat late. A lot of times when I used to work a regular job 15 years ago.
When was that? Like, what job was that?
Do you really want to know before we get into
I do.
Okay. I worked at a reading company in King of Prussia, like that area. So that's when I started to, right around the time that I got to Connecticut School of Broadcasting.
Okay.
So I started out, I was working in the warehouse of this reading company. So I was
What do
there.
you mean a reading company?
Basically, they would provide a basket of books to an 8th grade class, right? So my fiance teaches 8th grade.
Okay.
She would be able to go out and buy this basket of books. And the books would be all-encompassing from if you're reading at a 3rd grade level or reading at a 10th grade level, but you're in 8th grade.
Yeah.
There'll be enough books and a variety of books.
Interesting.
So, yeah, it was actually a pretty cool company, and I'm sure it still exists.
So did you put together the boxes?
No, I was in receiving.
Okay.
So, yeah, my job was to open up the boxes and then, with other people in the warehouse.
And then sort it.
Correct.
Yeah.
And it was a daily battle between, now again, this is 15 years ago. So it was a daily battle between, what the radio would be on.
Right.
We'd be listening to sports, old hip-hop.
Well, that's the thing. Like, were you talking nonstop during this job?
I'm sure.
And annoying the other fellow employees?
Yeah, I mean, I was smoked and exhausted. But, yes.
Gee, you were smoked? I can't believe that.
Well, listen, I was working at a warehouse. Everybody else was, too.
I worked in a warehouse once, too. It was an underwear warehouse.
No, I didn't have as much fun as
Packed
underwear.
With underwear.
Men's
Boxes,
or women's?
Men's and women's.
Oh, well, at least you had women's.
And I was like the guy with the forklift.
So you were in shipping?
Well, I don't know. I mean, I was.
You had the pallets?
Yeah, I'd get the pallets, and then I'd take the boxes off the pallets and then put them on another skid and then store them where they were supposed to be in the warehouse.
That would be.
It was a cool job.
Oh, so that's part of receiving, too, then?
I guess.
Because you would get them off the truck.
It was at night. Like after school,
God.
I would go there for like a 4-hour shift from well, not at night.
This
like
is back
4 to
when you were
8,
in
5 to
high
9.
school?
No, it was in community college.
Okay.
It was during my my little time off.
That's all right. I like I told you, I worked at Domino's during my time in at Gettysburg. So I was at this warehouse, and that was the last time I was there. This is all to come back to people eating lunch late. I used to push my lunch as late as humanly possible. If I could get to 2 o'clock and eat lunch, the rest of my day was wide open.
Is that right?
Yeah, so don't automatically assume that noon is the time in which everybody stops. This is not a siesta in which everybody stops at like
in Europe.
Exactly,
Yeah,
in Spain.
yeah.
Now, we have a problem. All right, situation, problem. issue, if you will, because you and I are going to disagree with where we begin today's show. I guarantee it.
Okay.
Guarantee it. All right? I can't sit here on my hands and remain quiet when 65 to 75% of this city blew up in outrage, concern, emotion when Nate Sudfeld broke his wrist to say that there's nobody, and now the nobody that was there got concussed last night. And not want to lead with that, but at the same time,
are you serious?
Well, I understand that you need to lead with where the Phillies are. Phillies have won 3 straight games.
The Phillies are back, and I'm back. I am back on board with the wild card train for the Philadelphia Phillies. Bryce Harper,
3 games.
Bryce Harper is putting this team on his back. You realize
3 games. Do you realize this is the equivalent, all right, of the Eagles losing 2 in a row, and then in the first 15 minutes of football, they score 2 touchdowns, and you tweet out the Eagles are going to the Super Bowl.
I'm just telling you.
That's
extreme. They're only 1 game back at a wild card. And what you saw last night, may end up being that seminal moment for the season
get out of here.
that turns the whole season on its ear. I'm telling you.
So that they could secure the second wild? Now listen,
that's what I'm talking about.
Okay, listen,
that's all I'm talking about.
I spoke my piece. Okay,
yeah.
I think that the Eagles' backup quarterback situation is a major concern here. I know we're going to talk about major issue in
Clayton
this city.
Thorson. You saw how he adapted from week 1 to week 2. He actually looked somewhat competent.
Where is
night.
Joe Thornton right now? It's hard for me to
Joe
think that.
Thornton.
Yeah, it's hard.
He's a hockey player.
I know, but it's hard for me to think that if we gave him 2 weeks, he wouldn't be as good of a quarterback as Clayton Thorson. Now, listen, as far as the Phillies are concerned, I'll give you the most crisp analogy that I can find. You and I both want this team to make the playoffs. You and I both are. It's like where we differ in faith that we were born into, right?
Right.
You and I both are waiting. We're waiting and grew up with faiths that were waiting for the Messiah to return. It just so happens that my faith is still waiting, and your faith is good.
I'm waiting for a return.
Well, exactly.
Basically.
Exactly. Yes. But he came one time, so that's good.
Exactly.
Both of us want the same end. We both want the same end. I just don't believe at the moment that there is enough flicker in whatever light that you've seen in 3 games to start attaching all of this emotion to this ride that you magically think is going to happen when we've been burned so many times in the past.
And I'm, you know what? I've been burned, and I'm going to keep coming back because that's the way I am. I'm resilient. I get back up, and I'm willing to be burned again. All I really need.
Oh, it's not how hard you get hit.
I have a caveat. I have a caveat to this because all I really need out of this baseball team is 23 more days. Okay, because that's how long it is until the Eagles take on the Redskins.
No,
I need 3 weeks of entertainment.
You can't get away with this
because then at least I have the football team. I have college football. I got the Temple Owls. I got gambling on 6-7 games a Saturday afternoon, whatever it ends up being, to take over along with baseball. Okay, but I need 3 weeks of entertainment, and last night was pure joy. I mean, they were down 5-0.
They were down,
game, okay?
And you, Darvish.
They were down 5-1 in the ninth. Yeah, Darvish dazzled for 7 innings.
Like we said was going to happen, especially. And again, here's another thing, too. Bryce Harper's heroics aside, this team, there was no turnaround. Bryce Harper is the difference. Bryce Harper.
That's why you go get a guy like that.
Okay, but you're not going to be in a situation where you get the bases loaded in the 9th inning and you have that guy up. This is not the NBA where you could clear out and give it to LeBron James every single game in the final 2 minutes. Here, Joel Embiid, ISO.
You know how it happened? Segura led off, flies out to left field. Cesar reaches on an error. Kingery with a little single up the middle. So you got first and second. Then Miller comes in and gets another little seeing eye single. And just then you're starting to think like, ooh, man, we're going to knocking singles, but up to second base. And these guys are getting on. Something might be happening here. And then Quinn, Roman Quinn, who is Mike Dill's favorite baseball player. Roman Quinn. He leads the Roman Quinn fan club. Did you know that?
I did
know
that. In fact,
I think that's why he's off this week, because he's putting together a big shindig for this weekend's series against the Padres.
Are you serious?
Quinn singles.
In Quinn's
a
honor?
run scores. You got runners on first and second again.
Okay.
Hoskins gets hit by a pitch, and look who's up.
Right.
Here he is, and he goes right after the first pitch. Foul ball. Another foul ball. Aggressive in the box. He had done nothing all night. Then he works the count to 2-2.
Nothing all night, exactly.
Works the count to 2-2. Hits a foul ball and then gets a 95-mile-an-hour sinker and deposits it into the second deck. I think that might have even hit off the facing of the upper deck and bounced down into the second deck.
And now here's the thing. You're going to wear this
and ran
collapse.
around the bases.
Yeah, great.
Like a track star.
Like he did in San Francisco when the guy was heckling him, and then he pointed at him, and then they still walk away frustrated in that 4-game series as well.
I'm telling you, man.
It's just too much of the prisoner of the moment with this team. I can't believe it.
That's what we do. We do a show 5 days a week. We have to be somewhat of a prisoner of the moment, don't we? You know, Bryce Harper in his last 12 games?
No.
7 home runs and 15 RBIs.
Wait a second. Prisoner of the moment is not necessarily don't get happy about what you just saw. Prisoner of the moment is taking something and then extrapolating that into the greatest thing ever, or this is going to be the greatest thing ever.
I didn't say that.
I can't believe I just saw.
All I said was I'm back on board with this team as a wild card. I'm gonna jump back on the bandwagon because that's what you're allowed to do.
Yeah, but I'm not letting you get off.
Season.
All right, 24 days from now, after the 23-day period, if this thing falls like I say it's going to fall,
you don't think they're going to give us 3 weeks?
Nope. And here's the thing. I'm not here to brag. I'm not here to boast.
You're here to rain on my parade is what you're going to do.
No. I'm not even going to – here's the thing. I'm not even going to do anything on a minute-by-minute, day-by-day thing. Like, I'm not going to remind you of the 23 days, nothing like that.
You're like a pop-up thunderstorm on a beautiful sunny afternoon.
No,
when
man.
I'm on the golf course. That's what you are right now.
No. I am the torrential downpour that you've ignored.
I'm heading to the back nine. And I actually had a couple of pars and a birdie on the front, and I'm all fired up for another 9 holes. And boom, here comes the thunderstorm, and
I'm Jeff
they blow
Robbins.
the horn, and I got to go in.
Jeff Robbins telling you to stay off the golf course this weekend, and you're like, who? This guy? I did a radio show with him. I'm not trusting him. And you go out there, and the next thing you know, as
Fox
you make
29.
that turn, of course,
yes.
And then as you make that turn, you're looking around like, oh man, did I make a mistake?
Yeah.
I can't tell you that they're going to win and make the wild card. That's what the prisoner of the moment is. But my point of it is that you're going to have to wear it so that when we're talking Eagles and diving into the Eagles and there's playoff baseball going on without the Phillies, at some point we're going to have to reference that. Like, that could be a daily thing.
That's fine.
That could get us through.
Okay, fine. And you could go grab this audio. Josh can grab the audio from today.
Yes, speaking of
and
it.
make sure that we save that so you can run this into my face when the Phillies fall flat on theirs.
Absolutely.
I will give you that. All right?
Absolutely. See, now there's a great line that I could reference from the King of Queens.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, that's...
Well, go ahead.
Well, there's Patton Oswalt. And,
I don't like him.
Yeah, well, he and Jerry Stiller, who is Costanza's dad.
I love Jerry Stiller.
They strike up this awkward, odd friendship. And they're playing cards against each other, right?
Yeah.
And they say, something happens, and Oswalt is bragging, and he's like, you're rubbing it in my face, right? Stiller does that, right? And then Heffernan comes in, right? Kevin James comes in, and he's like, Douglas, he's rubbing it in my face again. And he's like, okay, don't know what the rubbing is, but want to be out of here before it starts. So
you know way too much about that television
seriously.
show. Seriously.
To the point at which I need you to start getting these references.
Yeah, okay.
All right, now we've got some audio of what happened last night. Let's listen, if we can, Josh, to the Grand Slam itself.
Am I going to get excited again?
Oh, yeah, and also I want to hear Gabe Kapler with the autumn wind underneath it, because we tried that the other day.
Hey, it's worked.
And you said it didn't work.
No,
we tried
it. Maybe it did work. I said it didn't work, but maybe it did.
Maybe somebody heard it.
Yeah.
All right? This was the Grand Slam. This was the actual call of the heroics by Bryce Harper.
2-2 with the bases loaded and 1 out.
Oh, my God.
Deep to right field, way up there and way out of here. Second deck walk-off home run. Grand Slam, Bryce Harper. Wow! The Phillies have come from behind to win it 7-4.
Now, what are your thoughts?
Did you hear? Hold on, Josh. Cool the music. Did you hear the crack of that bat? Can you isolate just the crack of the bat, Josh Webb, by any chance? Because that was epic.
Yeah, that was insanity.
I mean, seriously.
You're right. That was insanity. I'm surprised that it came out that loud.
I mean, had the stadium not been there, like that, if those decks weren't there, that ball would have ended up in the old media parking lot.
Right.
You know that?
Right. No, you're right.
Yeah.
He is an angry swinger.
He really is.
Is he not?
Yes.
Like, he's an angry.
He just mashes the ball.
Seriously,
when he
man.
hits it.
Like, he's. You're right. He does.
Yeah.
It's like one of these guys.
Oh, there he was.
One more time. That's crazy.
Thank you, Josh. Oh.
Now, we also have Harper after the game talking about his heroics.
Oh, we do?
Yeah.
Now, who's he talking with? Murph here, or is this on the field?
I don't believe so. I think this is just post. Okay.
Oh, Kapler.
Now,
Okay.
Do you have the Kapler audio with the autumn wind underneath?
Oh, jeez.
Okay. Because I guarantee you that this is going to fire. We tried earlier in the week to fire Harry Mays up with Gabe Kapler and the
wasn't
autumn
working.
wind. And
It didn't work.
That was the ultimate barometer to see if it would work, and it did not. Now, let's see again if it does.
That ball was still traveling, but I think we were so excited in the dugout, like probably half of us didn't see where it landed. We knew it was a home run off the bat. We just obviously needed it to stay fair, and Bryce is enormous in those moments, right? He's kind of built for him, and goes down 0-2, battles back in the count, and never gives up, never quits. Kind of what we've been talking about, who we are as a team. A lot of fight.
Oh,
no.
There you go. That's 10 times better than anything John Gruden said.
Did you hear it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you hear that? I like that.
It was a little bit like a variation of yeah.
Yeah. I'll tell you, it still doesn't work.
No.
It doesn't. You know what we need? We need.
Man.
You know
Really?
who? You know who we need over that is Charlie Manuel.
Oh,
That's who we need. Because Charlie Manuel has reignited this offense.
get out of here.
Okay?
See, I knew you were going to say
I'm just
that.
telling you.
I knew you were going to go that
You know,
way.
Smiley had nothing last night. He stinks.
Yeah.
His last 3 starts,
Well,
he's got over an 8 ERA. So he's now returned to what he was prior to the Phillies getting him. Remember, he had those first 2 starts where he looked really good, and you're like, how long can this last? Well, it's over. His last 3 starts, he's at an 8.04 ERA. He gave up 5 runs in 5 innings last night. I mean, they had no business winning that game.
No.
That's
Not
what
at
I'm
all.
saying. There's a little bit of magic.
No. See, the run happens when you start putting something together against good teams like they did without needing you're not going to be able to rely. Baseball, you can't rely on that in a 10 game. Like, you can't win 9 of 10 games that way.
Well, no, you're not going to win.
No, you're going to need
with
some
walk-offs.
We talked to
but
Corey Seidman yesterday, right? And I even asked him specifically. Bryce Harper catches fire this month, starts carrying and righting the ship on the offense. How concerned are you about the starting pitching and the bullpen rearing its ugly
I'm
head?
still concerned as anybody is about the starting pitching.
You are a breath away from a 5-0 shutout. 2 or 3 of the next games.
You know,
despite the competition.
The Padres took on a little money since I left the house today. It was minus 120, and now it's minus 115 for the Phillies.
Is that right?
So there's a little money coming in already on the Padres, so somebody likes them tonight. But anyway, we'll worry about that tonight.
I didn't realize that it moved that much.
Yeah, Corey Seidman put this tweet out last night. That's the Phillies' first sweep of the season against a team over 500 at the time. Now, the Cubs are miserable on the road.
Right.
They're one of the worst teams in baseball on the road.
Why is that?
I don't know. For some strange reason.
They're what, at least 8-9 games over 500, right? Even despite getting swept?
I haven't checked their record.
But my point of it is that when you're that good overall, the discrepancy to be that wide of how bad you are and good you are, road and away, is not usually the case like that.
John Clark tweeted last night, last time the Phillies won trailing by 4 runs in the 9th without going extra innings, okay? So winning it in the bottom of the 9th was 10 years ago, 2009.
That is insane.
Doesn't happen much.
No, again, to the point, which is get excited, be happy about what you saw last night, but you need to be able to stop short. You need to be able
That's
to
another Costanza reference.
Stop short.
That's my move.
That is. That is. That's why I think you would love King of Queens, is because he's not the same guy.
No.
He's not the same actor, or as far as character
No.
in that one.
I got nothing for King of Queens.
Jerry Stiller carries that show.
Except the wife and some of the women,
Leah,
some of the other girlfriends.
Everyone.
Every
Every woman in there. It's designed to be
Well,
that
they
way.
have to because all the guys look like
they're fat and out
ass.
of shape. Then that's designed too.
Yeah,
Like his cousin is
Schlubs
They
would
are.
describe the male cast of King of Queens.
Matt Schlub.
Schlubs.
Yeah. There's one guy who looks like he's in shape, and then he takes his shirt off in one of these episodes, and it's like, oh my God, he's normally like somebody that you look at like me out of shape, but next to a brick house.
You are right. But that's why the show's such a farce to me. It's like
an
all the
Adonis.
schlubs get the dimes.
Well, no. That's not true. It's just Kevin James that has that hot life.
There's a couple other. I remember the one episode I was watching with you, and I pointed to there was 3 other women in the room. And they were all hot.
Those were his wife's friends there for a party.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I was. That's who I was
None of his
talking
friends
about.
are walking away with anything like that.
Okay.
609-403.
I hope not.
0973. No, come on. This isn't like Game of Thrones level fantasy here. We open up the text board with you as well. Different vibe with this team. 3 games? 2 with Charlie? Really?
It's Charlie, I'm telling you. It's the Charlie effect.
Why can't we look at this and say, man, the Phillies for the first time, like you look at those stats that just were read about the first time they swept a team 500 over 500 at the time. 10 years in which they did the walk-off grand slam, not going to extras. And I look at that like, okay, slow your roll. Not you specifically, Harry, but before people start building off of a 3-game stretch. Like you need, I told you yesterday, you need to start winning. Like put together a 6-game winning streak.
I need a little more information. I'm having a little fun with you here today. But I at least hope that I can get a little something out of this team over the next couple of weeks. Last night was fun. A sweep over a team above 500 is fun. Now they got the Padres coming in. They got to win at least 2 out of 3. You can't expect them to start just go on sweeps and win
you've
10
bought
in a
into
row.
This. Come on.
But let's win the series this week.
Do you have a ticket on the Phillies right now? I see you
No,
got
I
some
don't.
stuff in front
No,
of you.
I don't.
Is that all NFL?
No, this is baseball.
Oh, that's baseball.
But I do not
now,
have a ticket on
where right now would you find, I mean, you'd have to be able to find some sort of future bet on the Phillies making the wild card, right?
Well, that would be like Kenny,
to make the playoffs.
Our buddy Shapiro would probably have something
like that. Created like that. Now, the people at Parks could do that for us as well if we asked them.
Right. I don't see anything. I can't see the boards from here. They're too far away to see if they've got.
I don't know
that they have make the playoffs.
Well, they would have to
odds.
create that, right?
They'd have to do that.
So that would be the biggest thing.
They'd have to cook that up, as they say.
Now, one thing I saw last night on social media that I would like to explore with you, beyond, of course, what happened on the field with Cody Kessler and really the Eagles having no backup quarterback whatsoever.
He got leveled.
Oh, that's Andre Dillard, man. That's your first-round draft pick.
Yeah, Andre Dillard didn't think so much of Cody Kessler.
Let me tell you something. We better all be thanking Jason Peters for coming back another year.
I think.
All right.
I think Dillard just is a fan of Thorson.
That could have been Carson Wentz. Doug Peterson looks really smart. Not saying now, but I mean as far as if Nate Sudfeld had not gotten hurt, that would have been Carson Wentz's reps.
No, I don't think you put Carson Wentz behind that offensive line. You'd put him behind it.
Dillard. To be fair,
line.
Dillard though would probably be the first guy in.
Yeah, he would.
And that's a concern that he
Or
overlaid.
Vitae. Vitae would probably already be in there Vitae would probably already be in there.
Damien here. I'm sorry, Harry, but the episode where Jerry Stiller fills in as the club manager and he's haggling with pudding cup salesman gets me every time. Amazing.
Now, what episode is that?
Thank you, Damien. Amazing episode. So there's a senior club, right? The senior center.
Okay.
That's where Arthur goes and hangs out with his friends.
Okay.
The guy.
Is this a 55 and over neighborhood, or is this
No. It's like
a club.
It's like a room in the back end of the Y.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But it's like, they have all the elderly people in the neighborhood.
Yeah.
So they've added some older cast members there.
Okay.
There's a couple of women. There's a friend of his, guy with a really deep voice.
Okay.
That guy, right? So he takes over, Stiller takes over as the manager for the senior center for like a week.